Old guy in the shed here. After my last YouTube instalment, I was contacted by a good friend of mine who said, it was okay, what does the other side of the bike look like? Well, I thought to myself, he's right. It was a bit one-sided. I did talk about the flywheel an awful lot. Quite like the flywheel on the bike. It is what makes it a very unusual bike. This episode was going to be about another machine I have, another bike I have, which does have a link to Moto Guzzi, if only a tenuous one, which is the Benelli 250 two-stroke twin, which was badge engineered for Moto Guzzi. In fact, I have heard a story, and I don't know if it's true, that somebody bought a Moto Guzzi 250 two-stroke twin and found the Benelli handbook under the seat. They were just so similar. They were the same bike with badges. And the other criticism, not criticism, but the other comment made was, it's all very well talking about your bikes, but do they run? And they wanted to see the 500 Falcone run. So what I've done today is I've rearranged my shed a little bit. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm going to turn the camera onto the bike itself, and I will be running it up with this hilarious, well, I find hilariously funny starter system where they just turn over the flywheel on the decompressor and that flips over the engine, and I think that's hilarious. And I'll also show you how easy it is to kickstart it. Makes you wonder why it has a starter motor at all. And the other third thing I will actually be demonstrating is going back to the flywheel. It counter-rotates to the engine, to the direction of the bike. So it's not rolling forward, it's rolling back. So when it's on its main stand, as you rev it, it walks backwards, which is just crazy. It's just a bonkers machine. Another thing I learned, which I didn't learn, I learned it a long time ago, but somebody pointed out to me that I didn't mention, was that in all the things, of all the inventions and all the developments of motorbikes, the centre stand was invented by Moto Guzzi. They were the first bike to use the centre stand. Up until that time, bikes had a strange contraption over the back wheel, that you lifted the bike up onto the back wheel if you wanted to stand, which worked perfectly well, but took a centre stand underneath the bike was a Moto Guzzi development, which I find fascinating. It's these little factoids that you learn about anything, not just motorbikes, but about different companies and how they've developed their machinery. I find it very, very interesting. And like I say, there will be an episode. I'm not forgotten it, and I won't forget it, I think, to do a video about the Benelli. Unlike the 500, which always starts, it never fails to start. The two-stroke machines I have, one Japanese, one Italian, occasionally you do have to offer up a blood sacrifice to the motorbike gods or something to get them to go, because they just have a mind of their own. People call it character, I call it bloody mindedness, but they do seem to work. They do seem to work, and once they are running, they are superb. I do like the Italian two-strokes, and I have a love-hate relationship with two-strokes anyway. I love the power delivery, I love the smoothness, I love the simplicity, but I do find that they're so incredibly finicky, and they are susceptible to atmospheric changes, which four-strokes don't seem to suffer with in the same way. As a youth, two-strokes were the only way forward. You've got so much power, you've got such a nimble machine, they were just brilliant. As you get older and you become less of a hooligan, the four-strokes actually become a little bit more practical, you become more useful, you become more attuned to them, to the point where you have something like the Falcone, which is literally a breeze to live with, because it never gives you any trouble. It never does anything wrong. The only time I've had a problem with the Falcone is when it didn't go on time. In fact, it stopped. And I was beside myself, I just didn't know where to look first. It was the fuel. It had none. The so-called reserve tap does not work on it. It drains the tank no matter what setting the tap's on. And it is so economic to run. You fill it up with fuel and you forget when the last time you filled it was. You forget how far you've been on it. It just catches you out regularly, to the point now where you start to become paranoid about it, because you know that this bike is going to go every single time. It is tremendous. Like I said, I'm going to start it now, and I'll go through a little discussion about the design, shall we call it, of some of the features of the bike, which are just, again, like the whole thing is just bonkers, and you will see that for yourselves in a moment. Okay, here is the Falcone out in the fresh air in the beautiful sunshine. And the first thing that will catch your eye when you look at this side of the bike is the barking mad exhaust. These 1 into split 2 ray guns. They can only be described as ray guns. I don't know what else you'd call them. It was just a moment of madness on the design table, I'm sure of it. But this is an incredibly distinctive look that, as I say, came off the pen of somebody that must have been just bored one day or something, I don't know. Like I say, here's the air filter for the little carburetor, and it all sticks out one side. And you can really hear this, when you ride it, you hear it wheezing away. And this is the dynamo starter, which is in itself something that you would expect to see on a stationary engine. The turn heel gear selector system is perfect. It just works extremely well. There's nothing about this bike I actually dislike, nothing at all. I'll now start it for you. As I rev it, you will notice it'll go back. I have to shut it off instantly, because it will just march its way a good metre without any issue. I'll stop it, then I'll use the Kickstarter to show you just how easy this thing fires up. It is wonderful. No, like I say, no compression. Here we go. That's its normal tick over. You arrive at traffic lights and you sit there with a ticket like this, and other motorbikes will come up alongside you and not believe it. And you always end up in a conversation about how it ticks over so slowly. It comes down to that great big flywheel again. It'll always be that flywheel. But as you can see, she's very, very happy to just tick over. I'll now stop it and I'll start it with a kickstart. I have to say, it's incredibly simple. It's so easy and so reliable. It just does not get any easier than that. You hear stories of all British singles where people break their ankles or it throws them in the air 3 foot. None of it with this thing. It just behaves itself all the time. Really good fun. If you ever get a chance, as I say, to ride one of these things, you take it. You will not be disappointed. Crazy, bonkers, but wonderful. I can't expound its virtues enough. If it has faults, it's those who are not getting anywhere very quick. But that's about it. That really is about it. And it does have an odd style. But people either love it or hate it. I personally love it, as you can probably tell. Don't ask me what made me buy it. Can't tell you. Just fancied it. I'm so glad I did. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed seeing the other side of the Guzzi, the crazy ray gun exhaust, and hearing her run. Now that I've run it up, I will have to take it for a ride because I haven't got the oil warm. Doesn't do engines any good to do just that. So, going to have to force myself out and enjoy the sunshine, I guess. It's a tough job, somebody's got to do it. If you've enjoyed it, please press the like button and the subscribe button, and I'll see you all again soon, I hope. Bye now.